Why are thousands of Americans leaving the U.S. to start a brand new life in Japan? The answer is deeper than you think. Japan, a country where ancient temples sit beside futuristic cities, where trains run with clockwork precision, crime is almost non-existent, healthcare is world-class, and daily life feels strangely peaceful, even in the middle of booming Tokyo. But here's the real question. Why are so many Americans choosing Japan, not just to visit, not just to work, but to live, settle down, and even retire? What is Japan offering that the U.S. isn't? What makes an American say, you know what? I'm done. I'm moving to Japan for good. And why is this trend growing every single year? Quietly, steadily, and surprisingly fast. Today, we're diving into the brutally honest, emotional, cultural, financial, and lifestyle reasons why Americans are moving to Japan and what life is really like once they get there. We'll talk about the hidden cultural rules Americans fall in love with, the safety Americans can't believe exists, the costs, where Japan is cheaper than the U.S., why it feels so different, and how many Americans are actually living in Japan right now. Plus, the reasons why some retirees find Japan their final home. Settle in, because this is one of the most eye-opening journeys you'll ever hear. The surprising number of Americans living in Japan, and why it's growing. Most people don't realize this, but there are over 60,000 Americans currently living in Japan, and that number includes workers, long-term residents, families, and yes, retirees. And the trend keeps rising. Every year, more Americans decide Japan is the place where they want peace, stability, and a fresh start. Whether it's retiring in a quiet countryside village, living in a clean and organized city, or embracing a completely different lifestyle. Why Japan? Why not Mexico? Why not Europe? Why not Southeast Asia, the more obvious, cheaper choices? Because Japan offers something you can't buy anywhere else: predictability, safety, efficiency, and a way of life built on respect. For many Americans, that alone is priceless. The feeling of safety. I can walk at night again. Ask Americans who live in Japan what shocked them most, and nearly all say the same thing. I feel safe, everywhere, all the time. Japan has one of the lowest crime rates in the entire world. Children walk to school alone. Elderly people stroll at night without fear. Lost wallets are almost always returned. Phones get handed back. Bikes left unlocked stay exactly where you left them. For an American who grew up constantly aware of danger, who checks over their shoulder, who's used to stress, noise, unpredictability, Japan feels like another world. This safety becomes addictive. You stop worrying about theft. You stop worrying about neighborhoods. You stop worrying about strangers. Americans say the same thing. For the first time in my life, I can breathe. This is one of the biggest reasons many stay long-term, and many choose to retire here. Cleanliness, order, and respect. A lifestyle that feels too good to be true. Japan isn't just clean. It's shockingly clean. Sidewalks have no trash. Cities smell fresh. Public bathrooms look like they belong in a five-star hotel. Trains are spotless. People don't litter. And everything just works. This is because Japan's mindset is simple. If we all clean, we all live better. American expats say this cultural shift changes you. It makes you appreciate your surroundings. It makes life feel calmer, smoother, more controlled. Respect is built into the culture. Respect for space, respect for elders, respect for service, respect for community. It's a society built on collective responsibility, something many Americans say they've been craving without realizing it.
Healthcare. No surprise bills, no stress, no financial fear. Here's something retirees love about Japan. Healthcare is exceptional and inexpensive. Japan has one of the best healthcare systems in the world, ranked higher than the U.S. in nearly every category. Doctor's visits? Affordable. Medication? Affordable. Insurance? Straightforward. The average doctor appointment in Japan costs less than the price of a fast food meal in the U.S. American retirees often say, "I moved here so I wouldn't die in debt." In the U.S., retirees fear medical bankruptcy. In Japan, retirees feel protected. And when you're older, when your health matters most, this peace of mind is everything. The cost of living. Not cheap, but surprisingly manageable. Japan isn't Southeast Asia cheap, but it's also not as expensive as Americans imagine, especially once you understand how locals live. Housing outside major cities is very affordable. Food is fresh and inexpensive. Public transportation eliminates the need for a car. Utilities are stable, and daily essentials cost less than in most U.S. cities. Many American retirees choose smaller cities, countryside towns, coastal prefectures, northern regions like Hokkaido, and find that their Social Security goes much further than they expected. Japan is affordable in a different way. You pay for quality, not chaos. The culture Americans adore: discipline, kindness, politeness. Americans living in Japan often describe the culture as gentle, predictable, honest, and orderly. People line up properly, noise is low, strangers don't bother you. Rules are followed, service is exceptional even without tipping. For retirees, this is calming. For families, it's comforting. For workers, it's refreshing. Japan offers something rare in the modern world: a high-functioning society where people care about how their actions affect others. This alone attracts thousands of Americans every single year. Transportation. The miracle Americans can't believe exists. Public transportation in Japan is not just good, it's legendary. Trains arrive exactly on time. Even small towns have reliable buses. Bullet trains connect major regions at incredible speed. Subways are clean and easy. You do not need a car, even at retirement age. American retirees love this. Why? Because the U.S. is built around cars, and when you can't drive anymore, life becomes difficult. In Japan, retirees remain independent, mobile, and active without worrying about driving. Food. Healthy, affordable, and surprisingly life-changing. One of the biggest reasons American retirees feel healthier in Japan is the food. It's fresh, light, balanced, less processed, smaller portions, more vegetables. Japanese cuisine is known for longevity, and many retirees say they feel younger living here. Grocery stores sell beautiful produce. Seafood is abundant. Convenience stores serve real meals, not junk. Even fast food feels healthier. Many Americans lose weight naturally without dieting, simply by adapting to Japan's food culture. Loneliness versus community. This surprises many people. Japan may seem quiet, but expats often build stronger friendships here than in the U.S. Why? Because expats bond with other expats. Groups form naturally. Communities support each other. Foreigners tend to be welcoming and connected. In the U.S., retirees often feel isolated. In Japan, they find companionship, sometimes unexpectedly. Plus, Japanese neighbors are polite, kind, and helpful, even if the language barriers exist. Many Americans say, "Japan made me feel safe, respected, and part of something." So why do Americans really move to Japan? Here's the honest list. Safety they never experienced before. Healthcare that won't bankrupt them. Cleanliness and respect everywhere. A calmer, more peaceful lifestyle. A culture built on trust. Efficient public transport. Low crime. Affordable living outside big cities. Friendly expat communities. A sense of stability that's disappearing elsewhere. And the chance to reinvent their life. That is why thousands of Americans call Japan home, and more plan to follow in the coming years. Japan changes you. Japan is not just a country. For many Americans, it becomes a new chapter, a new identity, a new version of life they never thought possible. A life where you feel safe, a life where you feel respected, a life where you feel calm, a life where you feel like you again. That, ultimately, is why Japan attracts so many Americans, retirees, families, workers, dreamers. Japan is not just beautiful, it's not just organized, it's not just clean. Japan feels like a place where life still makes sense. And for many Americans, that's everything.